7 a.m. on Saturday the 11th of July, and we are just about to up anchor and head off to catch the high tide over at the Wide Bay Bar to get inside the Great Sandy Straits. So pretty excited about that. In the meantime, there is the moon just going down in the west and the coloured sands that just continue to amaze me. They're just absolutely stunning. Greg's got the coordinates. He's triple, double, quadruple checked them. Feeling very confident in what we're doing. Not long now till we radio into Marine Rescue. We've got to let them know when we get to reference point 1. There are 3 reference points along the way. I think it's going to be about 5 mile into the bar, and there could be some breaking waves on the way. We are just still on our white sector light, our first sector light. Can't really see it very well. Heading into Wide Bay Bar. We've just found our second sector light in the bar. Some breaking waves off the Wide Bay Bar, which is why we follow the sector lights, so that we don't end up over there in breaking waves. Just looking back to Double Island Point behind the breaking waves. A bit more footage of the waves on Wide Bay Bar. Woo! Coming into Wide Bay Bar, who would have thought that there'd be an overtaking lane? But there is. I'm not 100% sure if this guy's still on the leads going in. I think he might have some green leads instead of white, but he's actually overtaking us.
Glad I'm not colourblind.
I know.
Get the red and the green mixed up.
That would be pretty bad. So, haven't got long to go, and we'll be calling in to Coast Guard Inskip Bay to let them know that we've safely crossed at our reference point number 3.
So interestingly, up in Queensland they call their volunteer guys Coast Guard, whereas in New South Wales it's VMR, Volunteer Marine Rescue.
Coast Guard Inskip Bay, Coast Guard Inskip Bay, Coast Guard Inskip Bay. This is La Fiesta, La Fiesta, La Fiesta, over.
La Fiesta, this is Coast Guard Inskip Bay, go ahead.
Coast Guard Inskip Bay, just want to notify you that we have passed reference point 3, over. Just a few more breaking waves as we come into Wide Bay Bar. Just looking over at Inskip Point, just inside the bar. Up the Great Sandy Strait. Can't believe we're finally here. And looking over at Fraser Island. Just gone high tide at the bar, and we have made a crossing which was really pretty uneventful. Little Alco to the rescue. So what have we got, a 8 horsepower? Pulling a 16 footer. Can she do it, Greggy?
Yeah.
You got every confidence in her?
Yeah.
Yeah, so have I.
Take it slowly.
Okay. Probably doing about 2 knots. Anyway, helping out the fishermen. How's the tow going?
Tow? That's fine.
You dag. I mean that tow. We're all straightened up.
Yeah.
We've got our 2 fishermen in the back there. I think they're happy. They've come all the way out from Brisbane. the 13th of July. So we're leaving our little anchorage just inside Inskip Point. Great anchorage overnight. Minimal flow, minimal tidal flow, and really calm. We are heading up the Great Sandy Straits, up there to Garry's Anchorage. I think it's about 12 nautical miles away, so we're catching the high tide to get up there. A few other boats heading up there as well. There is the Wide Bay Bar. As I said, pretty busy at peak hour, which is high tide. Got a monohull ready to go out through the bar crossing. Probably takes about 45 minutes to get through the bar crossing. Can be a little tricky. You've got to have your reference points emailed to you from the Coast Guard here at Kingfisher Bay, and there's 2 sets of lead lights as you're coming in and reversing as you go out. Heading up Great Sandy Strait. It's like the boating superhighway at high tide. Looking over to beautiful Garry, which is the Indigenous name for Fraser Island. I'll refer to it interchangeably between Fraser Island and Garry. Looking back at Garry on the Great Sandy Strait, and looking up ahead. There's the Australian mainland, heading around to the Great Sandy Strait and over to beautiful Garry. You can see the wind generators there in the back doing their work. Solar panels are also happening. We haven't had the generator out now for, it's probably a month. So we've had enough wind, and definitely enough wind. One thing that we've noticed is lots of leaves in the water in the Great Sandy Strait, more so than any other estuary. Not sure why. So we've got a port marker up ahead. Are we going upstream or downstream?
We're going downstream.
Okay, we're going downstream even though we're going upstream. That's how we're going to follow the port marker. So we're not doing green to green, we're now doing green to red.
Yeah.
So we've got a port marker over there, which means if we're going upstream, we should be passing that and have that on our left. We are going upstream, but we are passing it on our right. So there's an old saying, green to green when going upstream. We're actually got green, the starboard side of our boat, passing the port marker on our right. Nearly off Snout Point, and we have quite a lot of activity on the water. Lots of fishermen fishing the sandbank, and still lots of boats moving around on high tide. Just rounded into Garry's Anchorage and passing a westerly marker, which means safe water on the west-hand side of that sign. Safely anchored up at Garry's Anchorage. There are our neighbours. Whee! Doing some fishing there.
It's been a lure.
Yep.
The lure looks like a wounded fish. Hopefully catching a bigger fish.
Good luck. Here is a freshwater creek that would flow out into Garry's Anchorage. Greg's hoping he's found the local pub at Fraser Island. Not too sure.
tight anchorages like Garry's here, where you're quite close to the shore, and you don't know what the depth is around your boat, just do some good old-fashioned soundings. That's about 3.2 metres, so it's well under that. Oh, it's about 3.2, which is good at that. Low ocean and nautical tide.
There's a boat over there, so it can swing this far.
Yeah.
And have
Plenty of water under it.
Yep, 3.2 from the waterline. It's got a 1.8 metre keel, so we'll let everyone do the maths. Yeah. Passing a port marker on our starboard side, so it's green to red. So we apparently are going downstream to go up to Kingfisher Resort, heading towards Harvey Bay. Don't think we'll ever get our heads around this, but all good. We double checked with each other. And there's a couple of the passing parade coming into view. They really don't care which side of the marks they go around because they've got a lot shallower draft than our 1.8 metre draft. We are at Sheridan's Flat, which is extremely shallow, and there's been a lot of shoaling recently, and there's a cat sailing down on its head sail, so we're pretty impressed that they would sail down, but then being a cat, they haven't got as much draft as we have. Looks like there's a fire over on Garry, Fraser Island. We have seen a helicopter going around. Interesting to see what happens here. We ended up coming across to Big Woody Island to seek a bit of protection from the wind, and that's worked out pretty well.